मंत्र बोलेंगे सब लोग एक साथ। नमो अरिहंताणम, नमो सिद्धाणम, नमो आयरियाणम, नमो उवज्झायाणम, नमो लोए सव्वसाहुणम, ऐसो पंचनमो यारो सव्वपावपणाशणौ मंगलाणम च सव्वेसिम पढ़मम हुवै मंगलम। जय जिनेन बच्चों। Okay, so we have a good quorum today. I thought you guys would be watching Super Bowl. So I was like, okay, it looks like nobody's joining. Probably I'll leave a note and drop, but by then that time everyone started showing up. So good. I'm glad you are there. Arham, you want to test your mic once? Okay, lower hand. Why am I hand? Arham, हो रहा है क्या बेटा? Is your mic working? That's okay. Don't, never mind. It's okay. It's okay, है ना? Okay, no worries. So let me now share my screen and then we will get going. We'll try to see, we'll make an attempt to cover the two dhals, two chand of the second dhal today as per our plan. And if time permits, we'll try to do the first two shlok of Bhaktamar Stotra as well. First two stotra of it, if time permits. Okay, it looks like okay, Tattva is joining us as well, which is great. Now we have everyone who usually join. Okay, wait a sec. I will move it here. Let's see if I can make it. Okay, let's see if I can make it full screen. Okay, entire screen is good. Okay, Ach. Let me know you guys if you can see what I'm sharing, है ना? Okay, thank you, beta. Thank you for confirming, and let me see. This is not going to work because I have to show it in Google Slides. Okay. So सबसे पहले हम हमेशा की तरह छह ढाला का मंगलाचरण पढ़ेंगे, राइट? मंगलाचरण इज एन एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ ह्यूमिलिटी। एक और चीज़ मैंने जो ऑब्जर्व की है मैं आपसे शेयर करूँगा, समथिंग आई ऑब्जर्व्ड इन माय स्वाध्याय, है ना, ऑफ डिफरेंट टेक्स्ट। सो अभी हम लोग, me and my wife, Neelu auntie, we do swadhyaya every day, and we do these days we are doing swadhyaya of Padmanandi Panchvinshitika. It's another Shastraji, as per our tradition. और मैंने उसमें एक ऑब्जर्वेशन की कि जो मंगलाचरण कई बार होता है ना, इट इज़ नॉट लिमिटेड टू द फर्स्ट स्ट्रेंजा. समटाइम्स द सैल्यूटेशन टू भगवान टेक्स मोर देन वन स्ट्रेंजा, है ना? तो मतलब दैट वाज माय ऑब्जर्वेशन. तो कई बार आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि ओ ओके, फर्स्ट श्लोक और फर्स्ट छंद और फर्स्ट स्ट्रेंजा इज डेडिकेटेड टू टू एक मिनट बेटा, ये क्या हो रहा है? आई एम ट्राइंग टू स्पीक एज आई एम, वेट अ सेक, इज इट विजिबल नाउ? ओके, है ना? तो द पॉइंट आई वाज मेकिंग इज sometimes the Mangalacharan itself is not just the first shlok of a text, but it could be multiples, right? It could be many, है ना? It looks like Ipshita Hita both are there, so that's good, very nice. ठीक है, ओके. तो हम मंगलाचरण बोलेंगे एक साथ. अच्छा, आप में से कोई ऐसा बच्चा डेयरिंग है क्या जिसको मंगलाचरण याद हो गया है? लाइक हु कैन रिसाइट इट विदाउट लुकिंग एट इट? Okay, Aram, I can see you guys smirking. That's fine. Why don't you guys make an attempt? You can see it on the screen. So I see Ipshita, Hita, and Arham raising their hand at least. So why don't you, three of you? I know Arham, you cannot speak because of your mic situation. So Ipshita and Hita, why don't you recite it with the right? Yeah. Go ahead, Bittu.
तिनमुवन में सार वीतराग विज्ञानता शिव स्वरूप शिवकार नमो त्रयोग समारिके.
Amazing. We should all clap for Ipshita and Nihita for singing it with such melodious voice. I'm impressed. Very good, beta. है ना? At least we should know the by heart the first stranger, which is Mangalacharan, है ना? तो यहाँ पर पंडित दौलत राम जी is suggesting, he's conveying that the science of vitaragta, the science of attaining moksha, is the most important thing, is the juice of this, of these three multiverses: the urdhloks, the madhyaloks, and the narkloks, which makes our lokakash. The Vitrag Vigyanta is the most important, supreme, because it is the one that is Shiv Swarup, which in itself is an embodiment of moksha, and is one that causes moksha. If someone understand Vitrag Vigyanta, the science of Vitragta, and then follows it, then it is guaranteed that they will attain moksha themselves. That is, they will become Bhagwan themselves. Right? That's why, with complete humility and complete sync of my man, vachan, and kai, the three yogs, I bow down to that science of Vitragta. That's the gist of the Mangalacharan. Okay. Having said that, let's do a review of our the two gathas. Right? So अभी हम कौन सी ढाल पढ़ रहे हैं? सेकंड ढाल. सबको पता है ना? The ढाल that we are going through is second ढाल. तत्व बेटा आपका कैमरा is facing somewhere on the light. Can you turn it on your face so I can see? I only see your like head. Yeah, thank you, beta. Yes, yeah, that's much better. And Udyan has joined us as well. Amazing, good. Okay, so the first, the second dhal, if you recollect, the focus of second dhal, beta, is in the first dhal. What we covered is, the poet established the fact that there is suffering in all the gatis. He took us through the various gatis, right from Nigodya gati all the way to Dev gati, and kept conveying that in all the gatis there is enough suffering, है ना? And even when somebody is born as a dev, there is suffering there as well, है ना? So that was the major point out there that was conveyed. In the second dhal, which is the second chapter, what Pandit Daulat Ramji is conveying is, he is making us aware of what is the reason of this suffering. Okay, so he, shlok by shlok, stanza by stanza, chand by chand, he is communicating to us the different reasons which leads to this having enough sufferings in all the sansari avasthas, in all sansari gatis. And the reason for that, as communicated in the first gatha or first chand, is, the reason for it is mithyatva. What is the word? Mithyatva. Now, mithyatva, as I have communicated last time also, means three things. What are the three things? The three things are mithya darshan, mithya ज्ञान एंड मिथ्या चारित्र, है ना? इन तीनों को कलेक्टिव की तरह हम बोलते हैं मिथ्यात्व. क्या बोलते हैं? द वर्ड दैट वी यूज इज मिथ्यात्व. ओके, इप्शिता हिता, डू यू हैव अ क्वेश्चन?
For Mithyatva, where does Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, and Samyak Charitra come into?
So, mithyatva is the opposite of samyak
Yeah,
darshan, samyak gyan, samyak charitra, right?
yeah,
So, if you have the right belief, if you have the accurate belief, then we call it as samyak darshan, है ना?
yeah,
And that is what in the opposite of samyak darshan is mithya darshan, right? Not having belief in the theory of the seven tattva and the six dravya, and that and no and exactly we'll cover what is exactly mithya darshan. Gatha by gatha in the second hal, that's exactly what Pandit Daulat Ramji is communicating, is conveying to us, है ना? While he is emphasizing on mithyatva in this gatha, because he want to establish the connection between mithyatva and the suffering, in at the same time he is also giving us enough information about samyak darshan, samyak gyan, and samyak charitra. Like, when the first gatha was covered, and the second gatha and the third gatha, we started covering about Jainism's concepts, right? हमने जैसे ग्रहित मिथ्यात्व और अग्रहित मिथ्यात्व की बात की थी फर्स्ट और सेकंड ढाल में. फिर हमने थर्ड ढाल में व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इज द सेवन ऑफ द फाइव सब्सटेंसेस, है ना? फाइव सब्सटेंसेस कौन से होते हैं? द जीव, पुद्गल, धर्म, अधर्म, आकाश एंड काल. Okay, out of these five dravya, believing that Jeev dravya, which we are, is separate from the other five dravya, that is a reflection of Samyak Darshan and Samyak Gyan. ठीक है ना? लेकिन अगर कोई इसका ऑपोजिट बिलीव करे, क्या करे, कि नहीं नहीं मैं तो कोई जीव वीव कुछ नहीं होता है, दिस बॉडी इज मी, है ना, but we know the body is pudgal, right? It's an inanimate object on its own. Unless there is consciousness tied to it, body is like any other piece of wood. It's made up of hydrocarbons, isn't it? We know all this, right? It burns. You know, you know, it's made up of the various minerals, and ultimately, either based on the technique of cremation, it goes back to the elements, right? So, what makes it differentiates it? It is that consciousness, and who we are is that consciousness. ऐसे जो बिलीव करता है, जानता है पहले, और फिर उसको बिलीव करता है और उसको हमेशा अप्लाई करता है, दैट इज सम्यक दर्शन। ठीक है ना। लेकिन अगर कोई उसका उल्टा बिलीव करता है, जो कि गाथा 3 में इसकी समरी में है, कि अ रॉन्ग बिलीवर बीइंग इग्नोरेंट ऑफ द फैक्ट बिलीव्स हिज बॉडी इज दिस एज हिज सोल, they don't see the differentiation between body and the soul, right? That type of thinking is a reflection of mithya darshan or mithyatva in general, right? They are not able to differentiate between the जीव तत्व, जीव द्रव्य अगेंस्ट द अदर 5 द्रव्य। ये जो अलग बाकी 5 द्रव्य है ना, इनको हम एज ए कलेक्टिव अजीव भी बोलते हैं, बिकॉज दे ऑल आर अजीव। ओनली ओनली द्रव्य दैट इज हैविंग कॉन्शियसनेस, इट्स जीव, एंड उसको हम तत्व में भी कवर करते हैं अलग से। याद है ना, जीव, अजीव, आश्रव, आश्रव, बंध, संवर, निर्जरा, मोक्ष, है ना। और जब हम अजीव बोलते हैं, सेकंड द्रव्य, उस अजीव में ये पांचों कवर हो जाते हैं, पुद्गल, धर्म, अधर्म, आकाश और काल। ठीक है। पुद्गल क्या होता है? मैटर। Dharma and adharma are medium of motion and medium of rest. They don't move on themselves, but they are responsible for the movement or stoppage of other substances, either जीव और matter. ठीक है ना। उसको हम धर्मास्तिकाय और अधर्मास्तिकाय बोलते हैं। एंड देन कम्स द पेयर ऑफ आकाश एंड काल, विच इज स्पेस एंड टाइम। ठीक है ना। एंड टाइम हियर, एज आई मेंशन्ड, इज नॉट टाइम लाइक जस्ट measurement of time in seconds and minutes and hours, because that changes. Here we are talking about absolute time, which is as defined in Einstein's theory, जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना टाइम फील्ड, स्पेस एंड टाइम फील्ड, वैसे। ठीक है ना। ओके, दैट सेड, गाथा 4 की समरी क्या थी? कि a wrong believer thinks that he is happy sad, he is rich poor, he is powerful helpless, he is ugly handsome, he is wise foolish. Family members, all the family members and wealth actually belongs to them. दिस इज अ मिसकॉन्सेप्शन ऑफ जीव तत्व। अब हम यहाँ क्या है, पोएट ने इसको है ना एक एक द्रव्य को लेके उसकी भूल को बताया। व्हाट इज भूल? भूल मीन्स एरर और एबरेशन इन थिंकिंग, राइट। सो जो आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा, द क्वेश्चन दैट यू आस्क्ड दीक्षिता, व्हाट वाज योर क्वेश्चन? वेयर इज सम्यक दर्शन इन ऑल दैट, राइट? सो सम्यक दर्शन को यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड अ कॉन्सेप्ट बाय नेगेशन, right? So here, how you are understanding samyak darshan is by first understanding mithya darshan, है ना। फिर आपने क्या किया? ओके, आई अंडरस्टूड द मिथ्या दर्शन, नाउ वट एवर इज डिस्क्राइब्ड इन मिथ्या दर्शन, इफ आई डोंट फॉलो दैट, if I have a contrarian belief to that, that is सम्यक दर्शन, है ना। इसको आप ऐसे उल्टा भी समझ सकते हो कि I can start with सम्यक दर्शन, explain सम्यक दर्शन to you, and then say anything which is opposite to this belief is mithya darshan, right? You can understand things in that in pairs, right? So that's exactly how we are doing it. So what did poet said in Gatha 4? Gatha 4, he emphasized that the person who is a wrong believer, that is mithya, who is a mithya drashti, right? तो मिथ्या दर्शन जिसको होता है, हम उसको बोलते हैं मिथ्या दृष्टि। क्या बोलते हैं? मिथ्या दृष्टि। ऐसे ही किसी को जिसको सम्यक दर्शन होता है, उसको हम बोलते हैं सम्यक दृष्टि। ठीक है ना। द नाउन फॉर दैट क्वालिटी इज कॉल्ड एज सम्यक दृष्टि। द नाउन विद द क्वालिटी ऑफ मिथ्या दर्शन इज कॉल्ड एज अ मिथ्या दृष्टि। ठीक है। तो आई विल यूज दिस हियर एंड देयर, दैट वे एटलीस्ट यू नो व्हाट इट मीन्स। ठीक है। मिथ्या दृष्टि। ओके, सो अ मिथ्या दृष्टि इज अ पर्सन who thinks that he is one who is sad and happy, he is one who is powerful and helpless, ugly and handsome, wise and foolish. Do you all think that way today in the current state of time? We do, right? We do think sometimes we are powerless, right? When there is a fight with elder siblings and you are losing it, what do you think? I am powerless. Are you really powerless? As the capacity of a soul, you all have same capacity. You all have immense power. It's just that it is not realizing because of the bondage of the karma that you have accrued in the past, है ना? तो इसको कई बार the way poet is describing it in Gatha 4, he is saying this belief that I am happy, I am sad, I am powerless, I am not powerless, this wealth is all mine, this house is mine, this car is mine, I bought it with my hard work, all everything around it, that all is what is called as a misconception of जीव तत्व. अब जिसको मिसकॉन्सेप्शन ऑफ जीव तत्व होगा उसको हम सम्यक दृष्टि तो नहीं कह सकते. वी कैन नॉट कॉल देम सम्यक दृष्टि, राइट? दे डोंट हैव सम्यक दर्शन, right? So the first tenet of Samyak Darshan is I should start differentiating between that I am happy and sad with who I am exactly, right? As a soul, I am never happy and sad. It is the situations that kind of causes me to have affection towards the situation, and that leads to this wrong feeling of being happy and sad. Otherwise, I'm always happy. I have the immense bliss. I'm always having enjoying the anant sukh, है ना? One of the qualities of one of the gun of the atma, of the soul that we are. So one other thing, I'm using the term atma. Atma is a singular entity. Jeev as a whole is a collection of atmas, right? So it's a collective. Uh, it's a collective noun, है ना? So jeev is a collective noun, or and the atma as a term is a कॉमन नाउन, ऐसा समझो इसको, बट दे कैन बी यूज इंटरचेंजेबली. ठीक है? ओके. सो ये हमने पढ़ा. और नाउ लेट्स जंप ऑन टू द मेन टॉपिक फॉर टुडे विच इज द नेक्स्ट हाल. ओके, वेट. ओके. सो फिफ्थ छंद is like this, or fifth gatha is like this. तन उपजत अपनी उपज जान, तन नशत आप को नाश मान, रागादि प्रकट ये दुख देन, तिन ही को सेवत गिनत चैन. Now what does this talk about? Here poet Pandit Daulat Ramji is covering two more errors or two more misconceptions. First one is the misconception of ajeev, of non-living elements, and second is the misconception related to asrav. ठीक है? अब अजीव की भूल क्या है? तो which is in the first part of this couplet of this gatha covers the misconception related to non-living elements, and the second part of the stanza covers the misconception related to आसरव. अब आप सबको पता है आसरव क्या होता है? ओके, मैं थोड़ा बता देता हूं आसरव क्या होता है. देखो क्या होता है कि जब आत्मा का स्वभाव होता है जानना और देखना. What are the Atma has infinite qualities or gun. Out of them, one most important gun is चेतना, that is consciousness. The second important gun is जिसको हमने बोला था उपयोग. Remember the term उपयोग, right? उपयोग, दर्शन उपयोग एंड ज्ञान उपयोग, जो हमने पहली गाथा में कवर किया था अभी थोड़ी दो टू टर्न्स पहले, है ना? What is उपयोग? उपयोग is the ability to know and observe, or rather observe and know the difference between what you are and what you are not. That is उपयोग, है ना? तो आत्मा का उपयोग क्या है? वो स्व पर में भेद कर सकता है. हु एम आई, हु एम आई नॉट, राइट? ये जो डिफरेंशिएशन की रैशनल थिंकिंग है, ये एबिलिटी है, ये सिर्फ आत्मा के पास होती है. ये किसी और नो अदर द्रव्य हैज दिस केपेबिलिटी. Okay, now what happens is sometimes Atma, while they have the Upyog, sometimes what happens is, there are a special type of karma, right? Darshan Moh and Charitra Mohaniya karma, because of the uday of those karma, because of fruition of those karma or kshayapsham of those karma, Atma gets this ability, this upyog of Atma gets tainted. ठीक है ना? इसको हम बोलते हैं उसकी पर्याय बदल जाती है, उसका मॉडिफिकेशन हो जाता है थोड़ा सा. एंड व्हाट द आत्मा स्टार्ट्स बिलीविंग इज ये जो सिचुएशंस मुझे मिल रही हैं, गुड और बैड, दे आर द रीजन ऑफ माई हैप्पीनेस और सफरिंग। ठीक है ना? जब वो ऐसी थॉट करने लग जाती है, देन इट इज नॉट इन इट्स स्वभाव, इट्स नॉट इन इट्स ओन सेल्फ, इट इज आउटवर्ड थिंकिंग, आउटवर्ड motivated. And because of that, it starts doing what is called as kashay, है ना, क्रोध मान माया. It starts exhibiting that outward focus on situations get manifested as krodh, man, maya, lobh. You know about these terms? Anger, ego, greed, anger, krodh, man. Yeah. Anger, ego, deceit, and greed. Right? Did I cover it right? Krodh, man, maya, lobh. Yes. है ना? तो ये सब क्या होते हैं? These are what is called as kashay. Now, when somebody does kashay towards outward things under the influence of certain karma in fruition, then what happens is they activate other karmic particles. ठीक है ना? Karma particles are separate. We are not karma particles. They are all around in this space. What happens is when I am doing this krodh, man, maya, lobh, or for that matter, any kind of mithya darshan, then what happens is I kind of activate some of these karmic particles, and these karmic particles starts moving towards my soul. This process of activating the karmic particles and attracting to them towards the soul is what is called as asrav, or in other word, inflow of the karmic particles. ठीक है ना? What has happened? I am already subjected to the fruition of the karma. I am not able to keep myself indifferent from that fruition of karma, those situations that are happening around me because of fruition of the karma. And because of that, since I am doing now kashai, I am like doing rag and dvesh. This rag and dvesh further causes more karmic particles to come towards me. That process of activating karmic particles and having them attracted towards my soul is called as asrav. ठीक है ना? अब यहां पर इस स्ट्रेंजा में पंडित जी ने क्या बोला? द फर्स्ट पार्ट में उन्होंने बोला है, इफ द बॉडी इज बॉर्न, अ रॉन्ग बिलीवर थिंक्स दैट द सोल इज बॉर्न. इफ द बॉडी इज डिस्ट्रॉयड, ही थिंक्स द सोल इज डिस्ट्रॉयड. इज दैट सो? When somebody dies, do their soul also die? No, right? Exactly. I see nodding heads. Exactly. You know all this. You don't have this bhool. है ना? Of course not. Of course not. That's not how it works. है ना? But the Mithyadashti actually believes that way. And this is called as misconception of Ajiv Tattva. So in Stranja 5 of second Dhal, what Panditji is talking about is, he's talking about misconception of Ajiv Tattva. Also, in the second part, he's saying that passionate feelings like attachment, etc., are the real cause of suffering, which is the right fact, but the wrong believer indulges in them and reckons them as comfortable. Okay, so what the passionate feelings, जिसको हम राग द्वेष बोलते हैं, है ना? So राग द्वेष are the real cause of all the sufferings and happiness, right? पर रॉन्ग बिलीवर क्या बोलता है? ओह, दिस इज माई डेस्टिनी, आई हैव टू enjoy all of it. All the comforts of life, I should enjoy them. Right? And as they are having that kind of thought, they are further activating more karmic particles towards them. Right? Because that's mithya darshan. That is a wrong belief. That is, doing rag and dvesh. Right? Having feelings, having, attraction towards these outward situations that are happening around us. And that leads to more and more asrav. Right? And this is exactly what is called as misconception of asrav tattva. Making sense? Tattva? Is it making sense?
Yes.
Okay, beta. ठीक है. So let's keep going. Okay, so now next. So, wait a sec. I think I am having some issue with the way this thing is being projecting. So give me a second. I'll try to do a slideshow again. Okay, now how about this? Okay. So now opposite or wrong belief of Pudgal matter is to believe that this body and soul. I think we covered it, so we don't have the to repeat this. But let's focus on this table for a minute. So what is body? Body is Pudgal, right? Body is achieved that way, है ना? Body is destroyable. Body has a shape and form. It is murtik. That's the second quality of a body, है ना? It's non-living on its own, right? If there is a body just lying there with no consciousness, we call it as a dead body. And dead bodies are non-living, right? And bodies unholy. Unholy bhi keh sakte hai usko, and it's on its own, it is very putrid. It is not pure. It is not, because think of it. If when a body dies, when a person dies, sorry, what happens? The body gets taken over by other microbial beings, and the process of decomposition starts, right? And that causes a lot of bad smells. Putridity. There is a lot of infection and bad unholiness around it. So on its own, body is that. On the contrary, soul is timeless. It cannot be destroyed, it cannot be created. It is amurtik. Can we see? Can we observe, or can we uh, decide upon a soul by means of our sensory organs? No, right? We cannot touch it, we cannot taste it, we cannot hear it, we cannot smell it, we cannot see it, right? Basically, only thing we can do is we can believe that it exists, and we can observe the differentiated value when a soul is there, right? जब soul होती है, consciousness होती है, every the body which is bonded with that soul is also behaves like it has some consciousness, right? That way, and it is totally conscious. So that is the next quality, and it is holy, right? And that is what we are. ठीक है, हमने आश्रव पढ़ लिया है तो हम इसको वापस नहीं पढ़ेंगे. रॉन्ग बिलीफ ऑफ आश्रव क्या है? व्हेन अ पर्सन इज इंस्टिगेटेड बाय राग एंड द्वेष फीलिंग्स एंड पैशनेटली एक्यूमुलेट मोर कर्मास. इसको मैंने जैसे बताया वैसे याद रखना. Activation of karmic particles, because a soul is outward thinking, it's outward focused, right? It is doing the rag and dvesh. What it causes? It causes activation of more karmic particles, and they all start getting attracted towards the soul. That is what is called as asrav tattva. And a person who does not believe in this fact is having the misconception of आश्रव तत्व. ठीक है ना? और उसके साथ आश्रव तत्व का मिसकॉन्सेप्शन एक और है. A person thinks that these situations, good and bad, auspicious and inauspicious, are something that I should get either comfortable in, or I should be cribbing about them, and they start reacting to those situations. That is what causes more suffering and more pain. ठीक है? What is rag? To have affection towards things is rag. We accumulate love, passion, hatred, attachment, anger, ego, deceit, greed, sensual pleasures for worldly things due to rag. है ना? अब राग दो तरह का होता है. एक होता है प्रशस्त राग. अच्छा, ये वर्ड जो प्रशस्त है ना, इसको समझो. प्रशस्त मीन्स ऑस्पिशियस, एंड अप्रशस्त, which is opposite of it, means not auspicious or inauspicious. So what happens sometime? We have rag towards our Dev Shastra Guru also. I obviously have rag towards my Jinendra Bhagwan, right? I have rag towards my Shastra, Jinwani. I also have rag towards my gurus. Not just that, I have rag towards the Chaturvid Sangh. I have immense rag for my sadharmis like you, Shravaks and Shravikas, right? I feel that you are like me. You are me, and I am you, right? So that kind of rag is also rag. It is affection, and it is that way also a source of asrav. But it is source of it is considered as auspicious attachment, and while it will also be an hindrance on the ultimate path of moksha, but definitely it will give you better situations than if you don't have this prashast rag. है ना? अगर किसी का प्रशस्त राग नहीं होता है, and on the contrary they either have only attachment towards materialistic things like iPhones and cars and PlayStations and whatnot, right? or they have opposite feelings towards Dev Shast Guru, then obviously they will continue in this birth and cycle. And not just that, they will be supplied with bad situations, aka sufferings. है ना? So while Prashast Rag is source of auspicious situations happening around you, because auspicious karma would be getting attracted to you, right? Aprashast Rag is one that is the source of bad situations and continuity of birth and suffering, birth and death and suffering in between. Okay, make sense? ठीक है, चलो आगे चलते हैं. Okay, let's do this quickly. I know you guys. Okay, how about Udyan and Tattva? Can you do this? Tattva, you can be the boy, and Udyan, you can be the real me. Go ahead, Tattva. आप म्यूट पे हो बेटा, यू आर ऑन म्यूट. You are still on mute, Raja.
Oh, I have heard that celebrating a birthday is mityatva. Why is it so?
It is because now we are thinking that body of the birth of body has given birth to our soul. This is the wrong belief of achieved tattva. Also, taking birth and deathful that is actually painful.
Good. Okay. Let's continue.
What should we contemplate and do on birthday?
Udyan.
On this day, which contemplate that I have lost these many years of my life in this body form. Going forward, I will do dharma and work. So one should take in some niyams and do activities which will help purify our souls, like do abhishek, do donations, etc.
Okay, I wonder what did Shankar Bhagwan did on their birthday.
90 Tirthankars took Diksha on their birthday.
Wow.
Keep going.
If celebrating birthday is mityatva, then why do we celebrate the Tirthankar's Janam Kalyan?
Kalyana kiya. There is a typo. Go ahead, beta.
It is not Mityatva to celebrate their birthdays, as this is the last birthday of their life.
Sorry, beta. Yeah, yeah. Udyan, keep going.
Much before this.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, wait. Sorry, I got my bad. My bad, guys. What's going on? Okay, I messed it up. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yeah, go ahead, beta. This one.
it is not a it is not a Mityatva to celebrate their birthdays, as this is the last birthday of their life, and they will no more take birth. Seeing the celebration of Bhagwan's birthday brings Samyak Darshan in many G's. Thus celebrating their birthday.
So it's a manifestation, or it's an example of Prashast Rag. It is a Rag itself, right? So we are celebrating the birthday of Bhagwan, which is called as Kalyanak, like Mahavir Janma Kalyanak, right? Mm, But it is something that we do to because we have celebrating them, their birth is is the last birthday, that birth is there have been has been their last birthday in their life. After that they attain moksha, and they are not coming back. That's why we celebrate their birthdays, and also their day of nirvan, right? Mahavir Bhagwan ka nirvan day sabko pata hai na, Diwali, right? We celebrate Diwali because it's the nirvan day of Bhagwan, right? So we are not just celebrating their Janma Kalyanak, we are also celebrating their Moksha Kalyanak, the day when when their final death happened, right? So that's how we should understand it. Okay, so let's go to Strange 6. Strange 6 covers misconception of the next two tattva, which is misconception of Bandh tattva and of the Samvar tattva. Okay, and it goes like this. शुभ अशुभ बंध के फल मंझार रति अरति करे निज पद विसार आत्म हित हेतु विराग ज्ञान ते लखे आपको कष्ट दान. Okay, so what does it say? Again, we cover two misconceptions, so we'll break it down. Uh, a wrong believer, forgetting his own true nature, likes the fruition of auspicious karma and dislikes that of inauspicious karma. This is the misconception of Bandh Tattva. So, what is, what is Bandh Tattva? So, we covered Asra. What is Asra? When we react to situations, good or bad, when the soul starts focusing outward and it reacts to situation, does Rag Dvesh, then it activates the karmic particles. These karmic particles start inflowing towards the soul. At some point, they come in and they get they get bonded with the soul. That bonding of karmic particle with the soul is called as bandh. Once bandh happens, after that the karmic particles stay in the dormant state, which is called as satta, for a certain period of time, and then it comes to fruition, giving situations. है ना? तो ये जो पार्ट है वेयर दीज कार्मिक पार्टिकल्स अल्टीमेटली बॉन्ड्स टू द सोल, दैट इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज बंध. अब रॉन्ग बिलीवर क्या सोचता है? दे फॉरगेट देयर ओन ट्रू नेचर विच इज नथिंग बट उपयोग. व्हाट इज द ट्रू नेचर ऑफ सोल? द ट्रू नेचर ऑफ सोल इज उपयोग, दैट इज जानना और देखना. What a soul does instead, a wrong believer does instead, they start liking or disliking the fruition of the karma. If it is auspicious karma in fruition, they start enjoying it, right? If they are born to a very rich family with lot of opulence and abundance around them, rather than using those situations for elevating, their tap and sanyam, they rather get into indulgences. Also, in certain situations, when a person is supplied with inauspicious situations because of fruition of inauspicious karma, they go into a panic mode, right? They start worrying about the pain. If let's say somebody get impacted by flu, what happens? They lose their sanity and they start behaving like, oh, why am I in this pain? Always worrying about, and all that. So, just thinking about pain and pain and pain and pain, which is what is keeping them away from doing their स्वाध्याय and tap and संयम, right? So इस तरह का जब बिलीव होने लग जाता है तो उसको भी हम क्या बोलते हैं? Wrong belief or the misconception of बंध तत्व. Okay, now next is the misconception of samvar tattva. Renunciation and right knowledge are beneficial to the soul, but a wrong believer thinks that those are sources of suffering for himself, right? देखो क्या होता है जब आप रिनंसिएशन करते हो, तब करते हो, है ना? जैसे आपने लेट्स से एक दिन का उपवास किया तो क्या होगा? आपको फूड नहीं मिला ना, है ना? तो आप क्या सोचोगे? ओ बिकॉज आई एम नॉट ईटिंग, दिस तप इज बैड, I should rather be eating every moment. Whenever I'm hungry, I should be eating, right? And this tap and sanyam, this life of self-restraint and tap is cause of my suffering. So rather than believing that this renunciation, this sanyam, this life of restraint and modesty is going to lead me on the path of moksha, what I start believing, what a wrong believer thinks, that this is the cause of my suffering. है ना? दैट इज अ मिसकंसेप्शन ऑफ संवर तत्व, है ना? इसको क्या बोलेंगे? क्योंकि संवर तत्व क्या होता है? संवर इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ स्टॉपिंग द इनफ्लो ऑफ एवरी न्यू कर्मा, ऑफ ऑल न्यू कर्मा. एंड हाउ डू यू डू दैट? बाय नॉट डूइंग राग एंड द्वेष, by having inward focus. The soul stops looking outward, soul stays with just doing nothing but to observe and to know, to dekhna and to do janna. That's all. Okay, this is happening with me. Oh, yeah, this situation is happening. Oh, people around me are having suffering. Okay, I understand what it is. I empathize, but I am not reacting. That kind of thinking leads to somewhere. When I do renunciation, I am limiting my needs. And because of that, I am kind of limiting the situations that can lead to bondage of new inflow of new karma. Right? And that is nothing but somewhere. ठीक है ना? तो ये जो यहाँ बात की है कि रादर देन बिलीविंग दैट रिनंसिएशन एंड राइट नॉलेज दैट इज सम्यक ज्ञान is beneficial for soul on the path of moksha, a wrong believer thinks that these are the sources of suffering. ठीक है, इसको हमने देखा. ओके, so this jeev has forgotten the real nature of soul and enjoys the fruit of good karma and have and hates the fruits of bad karma. This is wrong belief of बंध तत्व. राइट, हमने बंध को पढ़ लिया, पर इसको यहाँ देख लेते. द कर्मा दैट हैज बिकम वन with the soul like milk and water because of love hatred feeling rag dvesh and due to the activities of thought speech and action. देखो क्या होता है, हम जब हम आउटवर्ड, जब when a soul thinks outward, right, it is manifested with the activities of the thoughts speech and action, and that is what causes the activation of karmic particles. ठीक है ना? एंड द एक्टिवेशन ऑफ कार्मिक, सो जब हम बोलते हैं ना कषाय की, तो कषाय कैसे करता है आदमी? either they do it by their man or do they do by their vachan or by their kai. In other terms, either they do it in their thoughts, they just have feeling of grudge or hatred, they don't say it in words, they just keep it within them. That is called as man ki kashai. Then comes words. Sometimes they start uttering words, bad words with it, which is vachan ki kashai. And then action, kai ki kashai, they start, let's say, hitting somebody, right, or throwing stones at people. What is that? That is एक्शन की कषाय, है ना? तो ये बातें होंगी. ओके, बंध आर ऑफ टू टाइप्स, शुभ बंध एंड अशुभ बंध. द बॉन्डेज ऑफ साता वेदनीय कर्म that take place due to dev puja, guru upasana and other पुण्य is called as शुभ बंध. है ना? देखो, जैसे आप फीलिंग्स करोगे, जैसे आप भाव करोगे, राइट, अगर आपने प्रशस्त राग किया तो भी बंद होगा, आश्रव होगा पहले और फिर बंद होगा, पर उस समय आपका बंद कैसा होगा? साता वेदनीय कर्मों का बंद होगा, है ना? साता वेदनी मतलब वन दैट गिव्स यू ऑस्पिशियस सिचुएशंस, right? They will give you situations that will be very conducive for you. Now, they will be conducive for you. Whether you use them as conducive situations or not will depend on your own pursharth, your own volition, right? होता क्या है? There are so many souls because of their past good karma, because of the past bondage of Sata Vednya Karma, they are born with amazing body. They are born with amazing intellect. दे आर बॉर्न विथ अमेजिंग फैमिली. उनके नाम कर्म भी बहुत अच्छे होते हैं, है ना? दे डोंट हैव एनी ailments, they don't have their bodies perfect, right? But they don't use those situations in the right way. Rather than using that kind of body, that ability to do tap and sanyam, to do self restraint and tap, they rather penance, they rather focus doing it, using it as a object, right? Showing off, building body so they can get more praise, or they use it for other unnecessary activities. उसमें क्या हो जाएगा? आपका शुभ बंध है जो फ्रूशन में है, लेकिन आप आगे बैड कर्मा को अट्रैक्ट करोगे. ठीक है ना? ऐसे ही अशुभ बंध क्या होता है? द बॉन्डेज ऑफ असाता वेदनीय कर्म that take place because of unhappy nature, violent and sinful karma and other अप्रशस्त कर्मा is called as अशुभ बंध, राइट? तो अशुभ बंध में भी इसी तरह से होता है कि अगर कोई बहुत द्वेष करता है, बहुत बैड फीलिंग्स रखता है, वायलेंट इन नेचर होता है, इधर वायलेंट इन देयर थॉट्स, इन देयर वर्ड्स और इन देयर एक्शन, accordingly they get bondage of asata vedni karma, and those asata vedni karma leads to uh, getting a not so good body, getting a not so getting bad situations in life, right? ऐसे होता है. अब रति क्या होता है? The reason due to which जीव gets entangled in worldly pleasure is called rati. ये भी एक technical term है. And arati is when one gets entangled with unpleasant situations or things and experiences, experience unhappiness because of that, that is arati. So, wrong belief of samvar tattva is to believe that vairagya and true knowledge, which is beneficial for soul, are not the pleasant experiences for soul. That is a wrong belief of samvar tattva. What is vairagya? The feeling of indifference और नॉन अटैचमेंट टू वर्ल्डली प्लेजर जो भगवान को हुआ था जब उन्होंने दीक्षा ली. मुनि महाराज को क्या होता है जब वो दीक्षा ले लेते हैं? द दीक्षा इज ए रीजन, द रीजन फॉर दीक्षा इज द वैराग्य भावना, having the feeling of non attachment to the worldly pleasures, right? Non attachment to body and sensual pleasures. That feeling is the feeling of vairagya. Okay? अच्छा, ज्ञान आप सबको पता है. The one that supports things beneficial for soul is called as ज्ञान, है ना? जो स्व और पर का भेद कराए उसको हम ज्ञान बोलते हैं. दैट इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज ज्ञान. ओके. फ्रूट ऑफ शुभ कर्मा क्या होते हैं? इफ समबडी, जैसे मैंने बता, आई थिंक ये कवर कर लिया मैंने, है ना? शुभ कर्मा के फ्रूशन में क्या होता है, या सातावेदनीय कर्मों के फ्रूशन से क्या होता है? आप सबको अच्छी सिचुएशंस मिलेंगी. You may get born as a king, emperor. You may get born in with lot of abundance. Or once you are born, your family may start getting lot of growth and prosperity. Right? ये सब चीजें क्या हैं? ये शुभ कर्म है ना? ये भी तो बॉन्डेज से का ही रिफ्लेक्शन है. जो पहले के आपके पास्ट कर्मा है वो फ्रूशन में आ रहे हैं एंड दे आर गिविंग यू सिचुएशंस. राइट? तो जो कर्म आपको फ्रूशन में आने पर दे गिव यू गुड सिचुएशंस are called as shubh karma. And ashubh karma are those karma when they get to fruition, they give bad situations, like being born with narki avastha, right? With a vakrek sharir, right? No, being born fatherless and motherless in that small object, egg-like, shell-like object, right? And then dying and living and dying 18 times, like that of Itar Nigodia Jeeves. What are these? These are all unhappy or inauspicious situations happening to you because your ashubh karma are in fruition. Right? Somebody is born with, in an amazing family, good family, because of their shubh karma, but they are born with a limp, or they are born with a disease. What is that? That is a fruition of their ashubh karma. Right? ऐसा होता है ना? देखा है ना हमने? कोई कोई है, he is born in a very rich family, but they don't have a able body. Right? Why is that? Because their shubh karma were fruition. That's why they got born in a very rich family, but they also did something bad in past lives, which lead them to ashubh karma, which are also in fruition, leading to them having a disease, full having their body being full of diseases, or they having some limitations. है ना? Okay. Okay, let's do this conversation. Okay, Ihita, can you do this, please, beta? You and Arush, if you can do this.
What am I?
The kid.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I really need to understand Mithya Drishti behavior in more depth.
Mithya drashti. Remember, mithya drashti is the word used for as a noun for a person with mithya darshan. है ना? Okay. Go ahead, Arush.
Okay, let me try to explain you this way. The way it sounds odd or funny to adults when kids cry for their toys or toffee, or cry if things break. Similarly, adults would think that whenever they are associating their soul with their body requirements, they are also acting funny. They should move out of this behavior immediately.
Okay, nice explanation. Please explain further. I need to understand more.
Okay, let me explain further. When kids grow, they like their freedom. They want to have more fun. They do not like parent advice, study less, do nights out, gossip, etc. They do not realize that this is not good for their future. Similarly, a mithya drishti does not like moksha-related talks and activities. He finds them boring and inappropriate.
Oh, I will never think wrong about moksha. Mm,
Moksha
wait, wait,
talks.
wait.
Moksha
Oh,
talks.
I'll never think wrong about moksha talks and knowledge. I want to be samyak drishti.
Very good. Okay, I think I said very good. So I'll move on. Okay, so, uh, I think we have reached the end of it. Give me a second. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is a task for you guys for submission. Write 5 statements about 5 times when you brought yourself out of mithyatva by understanding mithyatva. Like you are feeling angry as someone said something unpleasant to you. How will you manage your thoughts and bring yourself to equanimity and not be pulled by mithyatva? है ना? इसमें क्या हो रहा है हमें वी हैव टू फर्स्ट से दैट इट इज़ नॉट मी हु इज़ गेटिंग अनप्लेजेंट राइट बीइंग अनप्लेजेंट अनहैप्पी और हैप्पी इज़ नॉट मी राइट ऐसी फीलिंग लानी पड़ेगी ओके सेकेंड क्वेश्चन इज प्लीज राइट 5 सच सिचुएशंस ईदर गुड और बैड वेयर यू पुल्ड योर सेल्फ आउट ऑफ मिथ्यात्व ओके आई थिंक दे आर रिलेटेड ठीक है सो दैट इज द टास्क फॉर योर होम असाइनमेंट that you can do at your pace okay I think we can end the session today I don't think we have enough time for bhaktamar stotra we'll do it next time ठीक है बेटा I was wanting to do that but I don't think we have enough time left so we will do it next time yes beta what's your question
For Bhaktambar, like, are we just learning like the slok's meaning?
Yes, we will cover it. We have slides for it, the pronunciation of it, and then quickly we'll try to cover the meaning of it also.
Oh, well, I already know it.
You know it. That's good. Great. Then it will be revision for you. However many times you recite Bhaktamar is very auspicious, है ना? So never deny yourself that opportunity. Okay, but anyways we are not going to do it today because we are running short of time. I think I need to better manage time next time है ना and we'll try to fit it in as much as possible ठीक है चलिए तो अब हम जिनवाणी स्तुति करेंगे सबसे पहले मैं बोलूँगा तीर्थंकर की ध्वनि गणधर ने सुनी अंग रचे चुनी ज्ञानमयी सो जिनवर मानी त्रिभुवन शिव सुखधानी त्रिभुवन मानी पूज्य भई जिनवाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालोक ते वाणी मस्तक धरूं देहूं सदा धोक हे जिनवाणी भारती माँ तो है जपूं दिन रैन जो तेरी शरणा गए माँ सो पावे सुख चैन सर्वमंगल मांगल्यम सर्वकल्याण कारणम प्रधानम धर्म प्रधानम धर्म समानम जैनम जयतु शासनम जैनम जयतु शासनम जय जिनेन बच्चों उत्तम क्षमा and see you next time oh yeah next time I will try to fit in as much as possible. I am on a business travel and I have few activities that I have to do over the weekend. But I will try to ensure that we are having a pathshala class. है ना? It's a long weekend, but then I'm sure most of you will be joining. ठीक है? जय जिनेंद्र.
Mm.
जय जिनेंद्र.
Jai Jinendra.